Do you believe in the paranormal? After today's show, you just might. Hello everybody, welcome to One Opinion and 8 Billion, the podcast. Today, as I've already said, we're going to be examining the paranormal. I'm going to show several clips of different activities that are paranormal in nature and discuss them, look at the psychology behind them, etc. and basically see what you guys think. If a door moves on its own, does that mean it's a ghost? Or is it your brain refusing to accept randomness? Tonight we're not proving that ghosts exist, and we're not mocking those who believe. We're exploring something far more interesting. Why the paranormal fascinates humanity in the first place. Have you ever experienced anything that you couldn't explain? Let me know in the comments. I invite you all to stay till the end. This is not going to be necessarily for entertainment purposes. It's going to be for investigatory purposes. We're going to be looking at several clips that are paranormal in nature, and it's going to be up to you to decide what you think. And along the way, I'm going to be explaining the psychology and any issues that might be with the clip, if any at all. Now, before we watch any clips, we first need to understand the brain, the mind, us as humans, and how our minds and brains work and what that tells us inside. So any of those enthusiasts of the paranormal and any ghost hunters or cryptids would have heard some of these terms before, especially from people like parapsychologists or something like that. So the first one is known as evolutionary threat detection. As humans, we've evolved over time to assume predators or, think the worst, especially when our sort of gut instinct or something like that, or the prickles on the back of our neck stand up. That is known as evolutionary threat detection. Then you've got pattern recognition bias. Now, this is where we detect movements in shadows, maybe out of the peripheral vision, and we're not sure whether it's there or not. Whether it is or not is up to you as an individual to be able to determine whether that is the case or not. Then you've got a psychological phenomena known as pareidolia. Now, this one is where our brains naturally see faces or recognizable items, animals, things like that, in clouds, even in smoke and steam. I've even heard of cases where people have seen faces or other objects in burnt pieces of toast, and it's just a way that our brain takes that information, and then it's basically what we see in our minds. You've also got things like sleep paralysis, which is the big one. Now, this is where you wake up and you're unable to move. You may feel like a heavy pressure on your chest. You may feel like you're struggling to breathe. There could be a number of different things with this phenomena as well. There's been people that have reported hallucinations, shadow figures, and this is normally down to cultural interpretations depending on what it is that they're depicting, seeing, or explaining. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's real, but it also doesn't mean that it's not necessarily real. The experience is real for them. The interpretation may not be, and that's what we're here to look at. Now, you've also got something called cultural conditioning. Now, this is an easy one. This is all of the things like our fiction, our movies. So, give you an example, films like Paranormal Activity or sagas like Paranormal Activity and the Conjuring saga. All of those things will, the way that they're designed and the way that the filmography works, and even there's been known to be noises that and high frequencies that might not be specifically heard, but they create the fear, they create that level of awareness and alertness in us as humans. So watching these films or reading these stories or anything like that, even watching podcasts such as this and clips, that can heighten your sense of readiness and alertness. So therefore, you're already on edge. If I was to show you a clip tonight of, I don't know, a dark, which is quite common, abandoned building, and you had an urbexer going around, and there's creepy things everywhere. Could be a number of different reasons to what or why, but because you've watched something of similar nature beforehand, you're going to be going around it already thinking negatively and being hyper alert to sounds. And it could just be as simple things like a mice or mouse, rat, whatever, wildlife. It could be any of those things that are inside and they've gone past a piece of paper and rustled it and it's made noise, but your sense of alertness is already heightened, which causes the reason for panic and sometimes over hysteria or hallucinations when there's not actually anything there. The clips we're going to see today are from another YouTuber or YouTubers known as Grandma's Nightmares, Goose Pimples, and Sleep is Cancelled. All brilliant channels. Go to their channels, subscribe, and watch their things, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy them. That's what we're going to be looking at today. So let's get ready and let's see the first one. Okay, guys, here we go. This is clip number 22 from this particular stream, which is called 25 Real Life Scariest Ghost Caught on Camera.
In 2019, a former security guard at the Marriott Stellaris Condado in Puerto Rico shared a chilling story tied to one of the island's darkest tragedies, the DuPont Plaza fire of 1986. The hotel, formerly known as the DuPont Plaza, was the site of a devastating fire caused by 3 employees, claiming the lives of dozens. The tragedy was amplified by panic as people struggled to escape, with many trapped by doors that only opened inward. Despite the horrifying loss, the structure was rebuilt and rebranded, eventually becoming the Marriott Stellaris. What you're about to see is a recording from a security guard's night shift in 2019, where an unexplained incident left everyone who watched the video completely stunned.
Ouch.
The security guard's ponytail moves abruptly, followed by a sharp tilt of her head, as if her hair was yanked. Initially thinking someone had pulled it and fled, the footage revealed no one was there. Many believe this unexplainable event is tied to the paranormal, possibly connected to the tragic DuPont Plaza fire of 1986. What do you think? Was this an unexplainable event as she believes, or is there another explanation? I'll leave that for you to decide.
Okay, so that was the first one. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Upon reviewing that myself, I am someone that's very much in the middle. I neither believe or don't believe. I think there's some things that are very difficult to explain. Even when I watch some of the parapsychologists talking on other shows or whatever, there's sometimes that I'm like, well, that's a little bit far-fetched, even for a skeptic. So looking at this one, it's CCTV, so workplace CCTV. So that shows a bit of legitimacy. It's a security guard. I'd like to think that they're of sound mind and they're not under any drugs or drink. When they're going onto their shift. Now the hair pulling, there doesn't seem to be or appear to be any types of wires or anything that would cause, her hair getting caught. Doesn't appear to be any draft or wind. I mean, she's inside. She seems to be going down a corridor, which is probably going to have rooms and stuff all off of it. It is very odd. It's a very sharp movement. So personally, for me, that is one that you can't really explain with anything that I mentioned at the beginning. There's no psychology behind it in terms of imagination. It's clear as day on the clip. And you actually see her head get tugged, so it actually looks like it was quite a forceful movement. Also, if there was anything like wires or someone playing a prank or anything like that, you'd clearly see it in that particular clip. But let me know what you think. Okay, guys, here's clip 17 from the same show. Let's have a look.
Caitlin, a young woman who survived a devastating accident in 2020, finds herself haunted by an experience she can't explain. 2 years ago, on August 8th, she broke her neck after jumping from a high rope swing and landing on a pile of rocks. While recovering at home, she encountered something deeply unsettling. Late one night, while alone in the house, Caitlin's camera captures an event that still sends chills down her spine.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Oh my God.
Oh, hell. Ah.
Metallic noises come from downstairs. A sudden bang startles her, causing her to run in fear. Moments later, footsteps grow louder, and something starts trying to open the bedroom door. Suddenly, both doors swing open on their own, leaving Caitlin frozen in fear as she sits on her bed.
Seriously, guys, just on this one, at this particular moment, what would you do? What would you do if you heard the footsteps coming up to your door, and then there was rattling on the door, and then one door opens over the complete other side of the room, and then the original door starts to open? Let me know in the comments.
Overwhelmed by terror. The video ends abruptly, but the haunting events were far from over. Just a few days later, something even more disturbing happens. Once again, the same door shuts on its own,
What's in that
leading
room?
many to speculate that the room itself is haunted.
Bathroom?
Since then, Caitlin has remained silent about this and the earlier incident. Given how frightened she appeared in both encounters, it seems she would rather leave these events in the past. Yet the memory of these terrifying moments continues to haunt her to this day. Now, was this truly a glimpse into the paranormal? Or could there be another explanation for these eerie events? You decide.
Okay, so what did you guys think of that one? For me, I mean, she's had a near-death experience, so there's a lot of links and psychology behind whether or not that has any effect on hyper-awareness of if there is an afterlife or the spiritual realm or anything like that. So, possibly. At the beginning of the clip, the metal sounding, yeah, it was freaky, but there's no nobody investigates it and didn't really think anything of it. The footsteps, now, if it's real, that is creepy as hell. Especially when you hear them getting louder, it's just like increasing the fear over and over. Then you got the rattling of the door handle, but then you've got the internal door, which I'm assuming is a bathroom. But again, there's no investigation, so any skeptic would easily debunk this. They'd debunk it, by simply people on the other side of the doors, and without them going in, we will never know. Just turned my mic actually on mute, but for me, it's all about reactions. So, you're going to see some clips today, and clips, from other YouTubers that their reactions are that good or real that if they were fake or putting it on, then there's a lot of people out there that deserve Academy Awards. Because there's some things that you watch, and I've seen in the past, and I'm just gobsmacked and have literally nothing that I can say to debunk it. And I do want to believe, but I think unless you see something yourself, even watching clips in modern society with all the technology and all of the videos at the fingertips, I'm still not there. I still haven't experienced it myself. And I think until that time comes, I think I'll struggle to actually be a full believer. But I want to believe. And let's have a look at the next clip and see what happens from there. I did like the way that she had a golf club though, because it may very well have been an intruder rather than a ghost, and should have been able to protect herself. So, good tip for that. Okay, guys, clip 16. Let's see what you think.
A man from Poland discovers an abandoned house while walking through a secluded forest. Strangely, the house is filled with belongings, as if the owners left in a hurry. Unsure if someone...
Now, just quickly, guys, so this gentleman seems to be what's called an urbexer, which stands for urban explorer. Now, I used to do this, and I went round many places, some that were decrepit and had been badly vandalised and left to rot over time, and then others that were in better shape, where there was so many things to look at, and it was spooky. It was weird. We went to psychiatric hospitals, to old manor houses, and there was even a farmhouse not far from me, which was quite difficult to find. It's called the Red Dress Door Farm or something along those lines. Loads of local stories behind it about a mother killing her children, and that the red dress belonged to her. And when we went there, the dress was on the back of the door. And there was lots of stuff there, and it was very freaky, especially with knowing that type of backstory. But I never seen anything that could make me believe. And like I said at the beginning, over time we've evolved, and our mind kind of plays tricks on us. We've already gone there with a spooky story. It's nighttime. You got the fear of being caught because you shouldn't really be there, and there was some spooky things happening. But like I said, it could have been elemental, it could have been any wildlife, and then it's like a ripple effect. And there was 4 of us that used to do it. One gets scared, the other gets scared. Same as when you're laughing. If you watch a comedy on your own, you may snigger, but you may not laugh quite as much as if you're with someone else. And when they start laughing, you start laughing. Anyway, let's carry on and see what you think.
Might still be inside. He explores the eerie space, only for things to take a horrifying turn.
Oh, that's not right. That's just creepy in itself. And all these jars. That is never a good sign. Anybody that's watched a film and inverted cross, no good. But the picture had no face. Oh, hello. Oh, yeah. Exit. That'd probably be the same.
Suddenly the house seems to come alive. Objects move on their own, and a music box starts playing by itself. While the owners remain unknown, their photographs are scattered throughout the eerie home, suggesting they left in a hurry, and perhaps for obvious reason. Whether a true haunting or something else entirely, one thing is certain. This abandoned house holds secrets that may never be explained.
See ya! Well, guys, what did you think of that one? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I mean, I used to love urbexing, but I haven't done it for a few years now, but I used to do it quite a lot and enjoy it. So if you ever get the opportunity, great fun. So for me on that particular clip, it was definitely a spooky factor. The lodge was massively run down. You could see that in the middle of nowhere by the looks of it. Trash everywhere, but that's where a skeptic might say that there could be a number of things making any noises or whatnot there. On this occasion, we didn't hear noises, apart from the music box, but we'll get to that. The inverted cross, that's spooky as hell, but obviously, somebody that's urbexed there before or anything like that could have turned it over, so it didn't do anything while we were watching it. But the knife was definitely creepy. And then you had the ornament falling off the shelf. Now, the few times that it panned back, showing us, well, if one thing is to fall off, you would automatically assume that everything else would slide off if it was a levelling problem or something like that. Didn't look like that was an issue. And why would it fall off at that particular moment? Yes, somebody could have staged it, and that will always be argued by a skeptic, that it wasn't investigated after the fact. And with the music box, as creepy as it is, it's always a music box. I think where it stunned him, where the ornament's fallen off, the timing's as if, because there was loads of rubbish and stuff around, and we couldn't actually see the music box because he got out of there quickly, rightly so. I think he may have set the music box off when he jumped and went into the rubbish and stuff like that. So I don't know. I would have got out there as well if that had happened, just from the ornament falling and the creepy stuff I'd seen before. But was it paranormal? You decide. Let me know in the comments. All right, guys. Clip 15. Let's do this.
In this next video, a man kayaking alone on the Santa Fe River notices something submerged in the water. As he paddles closer to investigate, he's shocked by what he discovers.
I don't know if anybody can see this or not, but I just reported it. That's a car in the river. That is an SUV. Look at this. Completely, fully submerged. It honestly looks like a Kia Soul. Can you guys see that?
Must be a fisherman and a car enthusiast.
Dad, pay attention. We're swimming to the edge.
Well, that's probably how the car fell in.
To his horror, he discovered a submerged vehicle in the water. But did you notice something strange? Although the man was kayaking alone, a child's voice can be heard in the video, saying,
Dad, pay attention. We're swimming to the edge. Dad, pay attention. We're swimming to the edge.
The man later confirmed he was completely alone that day.
Oh, wow, that's... I was not expecting that. That went from 0 to, maximum. Wow. What would you do? I mean, did the man that was recording hear that, or has it just been picked up on the phone so we can now hear it? Because if he he doesn't look startled, so I am assuming he didn't hear it live in person, because if he had, well, I mean, the phone didn't even shake, so, but that is just creepy. Anyway, let's carry on.
On the next update, the car was being pulled out from the river when viewers noticed something even stranger.
Here it comes now. A white Kia Soul.
Oh, he got his car, right?
Viewers spotted something in the car's back seat, sparking rumors of a body. However, Police later confirmed the car was stolen and no remains were found inside.
Okay.
In the end, the truth behind the mysterious voice remains unsolved, leaving us with more questions than answers.
Dad, pay attention. We're swimming to the edge.
Okay, guys, that went from 0 to 100 really quick. Not a great deal in that one. Start with the end because that's easy to explain. When the car's pulled out, there's movement in the car, and yes, you could argue that it looked like a body, shadow figure, whatever. But a skeptic could, or someone that likes to investigate it or think outside the box like I do, isn't trying to debunk it. That's the last thing I'm trying to do. But there could be a number of reasons of what that was. It could have been, for instance, it could have been the back car seat that dislodged or whatever from the accident or from being submerged, and it could be flapping back and forth. It could have been junk that was in the car. I'd have liked to have seen inside the car to clarify, but it's still spooky. But for me, hearing that child's voice is well, if obviously the recording is true and the gentleman's saying that there was nobody there with him, especially a child, then that is just 1,000,000% freakiness. Like I said, I can't assume that he's heard that whilst he was making the film, because, well, no, you'd flinch at the very least. So I don't know, it was spooky. But let's have a look at the next one. But let me know your comments, and here we go. Number 14.
A woman was startled awake by the overwhelming smell of rotten eggs filling the room. Confused and uneasy,
Okay, I've seen this one, guys. This is
from the trash.
There's a lot going on.
However, something far more sinister happened that made her run in fear.
Oh, what the f***? What the fuck is that? Dude. Baby, what took you so long to answer? Dude, the house smells like literally like rotten egg. Like, it literally smells like you forgot to take the trash out or something. Like, I don't know what the f*** is going on with this shit. Like, I'm literally feel like I'm about to puke. I was just taking a nap and the house smells disgusting. Yeah,
Clean it, maybe?
I don't know if that's gonna do much though. The door's open. I don't know. I need a fan or something. You need to get home and like air, like do something in here. Did you take the trash out? What the fuck, baby? The lights are flickering now, dude. Baby, stop.
Right. So I knew that I was covering on this one. So, but there's definitely things in this clip that can be explained. The cross, that is such a eerie movement, and that's definitely not good, because you can't argue that one away that somebody's done it. I mean, you could get a skeptic saying that maybe it had been fixed with a motor or something like that behind, or it could even be as such that there's a hole through the wall with like a pencil attached to it, and somebody on the other side of the wall has just twisted it when she's made a noise like a signal. You know, all that is true, but that just I'm sure it will show it again, but just watch how eerie that cross turns, because it is awful. Yeah, I think
the lights began to flicker on their own, and a cross on the wall slowly turned upside down.
Oh, that's not slowly for me.
Terrified, the woman ran in fear, unable to comprehend what was happening. Viewers speculated that the smell of rotten eggs could indicate the presence of a demon, while others offered a more logical explanation, suggesting it might be a gas leak.
So as a lot of you will know and have heard before, that egg or sulfur, which does have an eggy smell if you've ever been anywhere near a volcano or anything like that, or natural thermal springs, things like that. But it's also tied with potential demonic. Definitely not something good. So with the gas as well, gas is actually, the gas that we use for cooking and things like that is actually scentless. The smell that we smell when we smell gas is added, so for an emergency, so if we know if there's a leak. But let's carry on.
But what could explain these chilling events? On another night, as the woman slept with her baby in the room, something happened that made them leave the house entirely.
Oh, hell no. What? I don't remember seeing... Wow! Okay, guys, I've got to stop it there. I haven't seen this bit before. Straight away, you know, that's a baby, a newborn baby that is being tugged. Just, whoa. Imagine if that was your child and you watched this on the camera. Let's carry on.
Something invisible was seen pulling the baby, not just once, but twice, suggesting that whatever entity was in the house had harmful intentions toward the family. The next morning, the mother reviewed the footage and was horrified by what she saw. The family decided to move out immediately after the incident. But the question remains, what kind of force was behind these terrifying events? And will it follow them wherever they go?
Oh, that's just...
The mystery remains.
Lucky number 13. Well, that sucked. What do you guys think of that one? Like I said, I gave a brief rundown of the cross, you know, and a skeptic that could try and debunk it. But for me, it just felt eerie when you've just got that feeling that something's like, you're like... Oh, I don't know. But, I mean, the lights flickering, again, could be argued off as an electrical problem or fault, but all happening at the same time, you know, for me, when coincidences start to stack up, that's when it stops being a coincidence and it becomes just the unknown. So the lights particularly going at that moment and the cross turning, it was either all staged and a hoax, but then you get to the baby. I don't know how you can fake that. I did, you know, the quality was pretty good of the CCTV. Now, orbs, I'm not a massive fan of orbs because it could very easily be the tiniest of dust particles that are just maximise with the zoom of a camera lens. I don't disbelieve that orbs potentially are a thing. Some are more realistic than others that I've seen and timing wise, but sometimes it's just the slightest of things can cause dust to just spread about the room, even from the breathing of the baby and the woman sleeping. will be putting, breath as gentle as it is, and will make particles go up in the air. So, but there was a lot of orby sort of dust stuff going on. But the baby being pulled twice, I don't know. I can't explain that. And for me, that is creep factor through the roof. And for any of you that have got kids, that is not what you would be seeing on a webcam. And I think most of us would be gone. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's look at the next one. Here's clip 12, guys. Let's see what you think.
A little over a year ago, a Japanese man named Yama Q was searching for a rental home when he came across a renovated 40-year-old house in Japan. The rental price was incredibly low, which surprised him, and he quickly signed the lease. Flag. However, Yama soon found out why the price was so cheap. The house had a dark history. The previous owner tragically passed away in the bathroom from an unknown illness. Only 4 months after moving in, Yama began experiencing strange occurrences in the house during night. Yama Q decides to start a YouTube channel, documenting the escalating eerie events happening in and around the home. Night after night, a strange knocking sound comes from the bathroom, and objects begin moving on their own. But the most chilling of all, a loud, eerie cry can be heard. Despite his efforts, Yama can never locate the source of these terrifying sounds, and remains clueless about what's causing them. One night, he's disturbed when a local dog, usually calm and friendly, shows up at his home, this time visibly distressed by something unknown. The dog growls and barks aggressively at something Yama can't see. The next day, Yama finds the dog back at its home in the neighborhood, safe and sound. However, this is far from the end of Yama's paranormal experience. Just 9 months after moving in, he encounters something truly horrifying. A chilling wail is heard coming from right outside Yama's living room window. But when he steps outside to investigate, the eerie moaning suddenly stops. Many of his viewers urge him to get better equipment to capture the supernatural activity. Yama decides to purchase a thermal imaging camera, hoping to catch whatever is happening in his home. A month later, things take an even stranger turn.
Oh my God.
Yama throws boiling hot water at the spot.
Well, I was not expecting him to do that. I thought he was using the steam to try and cloak the... Oh, wow. Why would you throw steam at hot water at a ghost?
Where the weeping sound appears to be coming from.
Oh,
As the scalding water hits the area, whatever is making the noise lets out a cry, but then everything falls silent. However, when Yama checks the thermal imaging camera, nothing shows up. To this day, Yama Q continues to experience terrifying events in his haunted home. But is it all real? Could the wailing voice and the persistent knocking be the spirit of the previous owner who passed away in the bathroom? The choice is yours.
Oh, that's so eerie. Okay, guys, what's your comments? What's your thoughts on that one? You know, you're moving into a house where someone's passed away, so there's your heightened sense of alertness. Because they have to disclose that. Well, most countries have to anyway. I'm sure it'll be the same in Japan, but hey, regardless, you know, the knock-in, we don't see anything. You know, we can't see where he is. Knocking for me is a lot more believable when people have got the internal CCTV. But then I think 9 times out of 10, why have people got internal CCTV unless they are having continual problems? Like sometimes that is the case, in order to catch it, to make it more believable. But not a very convincing one for me on that one. Now, in the bathroom, which was ironically the person that had passed away was in that room, the hamper lid, going to be light. You know, it's made of wicker, and yeah, it could have been wire of sorts, and it could have been staged. But then you got the bottle on the rack, which, to be honest, I thought it had suspended in midair until we've seen it a second time. And it's got like a lip on it, and it was sitting on that, and then a second knocked it over into the sink. Now the noise for me is, again, we can't see him, so we can't be sure that it's not him. I don't know though, I got a feeling that it wasn't, because when he went into the different areas, it was different volumes. Now, he could have easily been making it louder. If it was him, it could have been making it louder or quieter, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what he did with the hot pan of water. I generally thought that was he was going to use the steam to, like, if there was a, well, I don't know, to try and, like, if you had an invisible man, you know, it would show the space that he was occupying or she was occupying. I don't know why you'd throw hot water over a ghost, but it was very eerie that, even though nothing came up on the thermal imagery, that the whining and moaning actually reacted when he threw the hot water, which was really just awful. Anyway, let's move on. Here we go, guys. Clip 11.
A man named Carter had no choice but to leave his own house after repeatedly being woken up by something unsettling in his living room. One night, after hearing the eerie sound of a piano playing by itself, Carter decided to investigate, and what he captured next is truly terrifying.
Oh, come on. This is spooky as hell for me.
Who's there?
Carter hears the unsettling sound of piano keys being played. Curious, He waits quietly to see if the mysterious piano will repeat itself.
Dude, what the
Suddenly, a chair moves entirely on its own. Carter rushes outside and anxiously waits for a friend to come pick him up. From outside, he helplessly watches as the lights inside flicker repeatedly, as if whatever is haunting his home wants him to know it's still there. Though Carter never discovered exactly what was haunting his home, he later posted an update video letting viewers know he'd successfully moved out, finally escaping the unexplained events.
Okay, short and sweet. What did you guys think of that one? For me, music, is very emotional. You listen to sad songs when you're sad. You listen to upbeat music when you're hyped and you're happy. And there's doomy, gloomy music that's played over most creepy films and stuff like that. But music, how would a piano play by itself? I know that you could rig a piano. I get that. With mechanics and stuff like that to play. Also, again, there was no investigating to the keys. If I've seen the keys being pressed down, that for me is 0 to 10 or million, and it's just like. But let me know. The light's going off again. Electrical problem again. Coincidences are piling up. It was spooky. I liked it. But we need more. Oh, the storm moved, didn't it? Again, easily debunked. It was very dark, very poor quality. So, it could have been easily debunked. But if all of the things that happened were real and they weren't false, then, yeah, 100% I'd be gone as well. Here's clip 10, guys. Let's see what you think.
This next video comes from two friends who captured something bizarre on camera. The footage was taken inside in an allegedly haunted house, and the residents have reported hearing footsteps upstairs and seeing objects move on their own. One night, as the two friends watched a movie together, strange events began to unfold.
Alors, on vient de mettre pause au film, ça a couru à l'étage, et ça bouge de ouf. Lucas, tu vas voir.
C'est grave chelou que ça bouge sans rien. Ça va te casser la gueule.
C'est hyper flippant.
Ça s'arrête pas, hein.
On aille voir?
Vas-y.
Je l'attends en bas. Hein.
Bah, viens avec moi.
I went downstairs.
Merde, ta chambre. C'est déjà bien flippant.
C'est la chambre rouge.
They rush to the room but find no one there. A few minutes later, the friend recording explains what's happening.
Donc là, il y a Mimi qui nous a rejoint. Donc là, on est sur le reportage maison hantée. Je tiens à préciser qu'on a entendu quelqu'un littéralement courir à l'étage. C'était pas le chat, évidemment, il était vers nous. Et on n'a rien dans la chambre. Là, c'est quoi comme chambre?
C'est la chambre d'amis. Mais on s'en sert quasiment pas.
C'est hyper flippant. Ok, donc là, il y a littéralement une porte ouverte. Ce qui est...
Ouais, bah, normalement, c'est le placard qui est fermé. C'est le placard où j'ai mis tout le bordel que j'ai emménagé. Puis c'est allumé, normalement. C'est pas allumé, normalement.
C'est quoi cette...
They decide to approach and look inside. But just like the previous room, no one was there. Unable to pinpoint the source of the running footsteps, they begin heading back downstairs. However, just as they reach the bottom of the stairs, they capture this.
They close that door?
Footsteps can be heard coming from inside the room, and viewers quickly pointed out that even the kitten appeared to sense something unusual. Perhaps it was startled by the footsteps. While it's unclear exactly what was in the room or how the closet door managed to close on its own, the majority believe something paranormal was at play. But what's your opinion? Did these friends genuinely capture paranormal activity, or could there be another explanation? Like most footages, this one remains a mystery.
Okay, guys, so what did you think of that one? For me, that one, I mean, again, the same as all of them. If it was all real, massive scare and creep factor. But, you know, some are more compelling than others when they, like, we didn't see any, we didn't see them go from looking at the spare room with the door open and the light on to going back down the stairs and hearing the knocking. We don't know if they closed that and turned the light off. The footsteps are freaky. But, again, a debunker or, you know, a parapsychologist, someone like that proves that it's not real. It could have been person, you know, with the person behind the camera tapping his foot on the bottom step. But it's hard to tell. Let me know what you think in the comments. Here we go, guys. Clip number 9. Let's see what you think.
Kaylee and Stuart run a TikTok account where they love sharing moments from their life as new parents to their baby girl, Ren Main. Their content is usually light-hearted and filled with joyful memories. But when they posted this next video, their followers were left completely stunned.
What is that? Oh.
At first, the camera captures a strange, shadowy figure lurking in the upper left corner of the room. Moments later, what appears to be a small, eerie hand starts clawing at baby Raymon's crib mattress. Her father, Stuart, wakes up after hearing the strange noise. As he turns to look toward the crib, the mysterious hand quickly vanishes out of sight. Both Kaylee and Stuart were left deeply unsettled by what they caught on camera. And to this day, they have no explanation for what it was.
Jesus, guys, what do you think of that one? I mean, the dark figure before the incident could have been, you know, pet, shadow, or anything like that. So don't hold a lot of water with that one. But especially we've got the two angles here of the baby's crib. On the you can't see anything on. Oh, it's just creepy. Did you see the mattress like bouncing up and down before you seen that? Oh, anyway, I don't know how you fake that. So, but I'd be gone. Let me know what you think in the comments. Here we go, guys. Clip number 4.
This next video comes from a man who documents paranormal activity in his home. From lights turning on and off by themselves to rapid knocking sounds coming from different doors, even scaring his son.
Days like today are no fun. No fun at all.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Can you get it now?
Stay there.
No.
Come on, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, there's even a kid watching it.
It's okay.
After some time, the activity seemed to calm down, until recently, when his pet cat started behaving oddly. Ever since, the paranormal events have returned even stronger than before. One night, his outdoor security camera captured this.
Oh, it stopped. Ah, it's turning. Oh, it's there.
A mist-like figure can be seen moving across the driveway, triggering the camera's lights.
Oh, it turns.
A dog can also be heard barking constantly, as if reacting to something's presence. A few nights later, the repeated knocking on the house became worse.
Did not see it on the second time?
So I don't know if you're going to see what I'm seeing, but this is on repeat. This happens over and over, and then the knocking happens. The knocking, there it is, and it just goes and goes until you stop.
What was the? Oh no!
Can you stop, please? I mean, it's just right there. That's new. Okay.
Oh.
Whatever you are, you gotta go. And that's... Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No, I don't think anyone would.
A shadow figure manifests and enters the room just as the knocking begins, and the chair starts moving on its own, as if something is sitting in it.
Oh, that is creep factor 101.
Then, the door slams shut. For several nights afterward, the family experienced no paranormal activity, believing the entity had finally left. But just when everything seemed normal, the worst happened.
Go lie down. It's okay. Lie down. Stay. I've been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey, buddy. I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna set it up. Paper towels. And we'll just let the phone roll. I asked you if you gotta go or
Oh, there's a figure.
Wherever you're gonna go, you gotta go.
Oh no.
Calm down. He's okay.
Ah, there's a figure on the stairs.
Not today. Just, holy cow.
Oh God, you don't see that. Ah, it's walking.
The source of the activity seems to be coming from down there, and the shadow figure appears to be lurking below.
Oh my God.
Perhaps the answers he's looking for could also be found in the basement.
Oh, look how it walks.
So, is this really a ghost caught on camera? Or just a well-crafted hoax? You decide.
Wow, guys. What did you think of that one? That's going to be the final clip I'm going to show today. But, go ahead to their channel and watch all of the clips. That, for me, was... I can't really explain any of that. I don't know how... With the camera still rolling, you can see a shadow manifest from nothing and go through a solid object. Then the door's closed. The chair moving, closing the door. I mean, that thing walking up the stairs. I don't know if you've seen it, straight away until it was pointed out, but that thing is always walking up the stairs. And I think on one of the first times I seen it, when he propped the phone up, you actually heard the steps. It was really eerie, and I'm struggling with that one. I've got to be honest, but let me know what you think. And I really appreciate you guys logging on and watching my channel. If you could give me a like and a subscribe, and if you want to put alerts on for all of the other episodes to come, I'd really appreciate it. I need growth in order to create my mission, which is the reason behind the podcast starting in the first place. I just want to give a shout out to a podcaster or a YouTuber that's been a massive inspiration for me, and I've only recently been introduced to his work, and by a mutual acquaintance actually. Casper Site, absolutely love your videos. Think they are so entertaining, so funny, and really, there's lots of information in there as well. Things that people can learn from your show as well as everything else. So really appreciate your show. I'd love to work with you someday. The next episode is going to be on the Matrix theory. So if that's of interest to you, or if you have your own conspiracy thoughts on that, get ready to watch that one with me, and we'll explore that in deeper detail. Thank you. Take care. This is One Opinion, 8 billion. Finishing for today.